Good morning and welcome to VOP This Morning. I am Moses Humphrey. A beautiful day to be alive, it is. Welcome to the program. And of course, we have quite a package for you today. I would like you to come along with us as we make sense of these stories and more. But first, we'll be going to Anambra State, where the market reopens today after being shut for 1 week. It will reopen today. And if the people, traders and all, decide to come out today, then it probably will stay open. If not, I guess the governor will look for another way, maybe shut it down again. But we'll look at all of that in the course of the program. Also, we'll be looking at the controversies surrounding the tax law. ADC defection talks stalls as Kwankwanso waits on Obi's fate. Well, these are the conversations on our table this morning. Do come along with us.
Oh, well, good morning and thanks for joining us. I am Chukuma Okoro. Now, those are the major topics of discussion, but there are also other interesting trending stories that we'll talk about in the course of the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on VOP this morning. Let's go straight in. And the first story we'll be talking about today is Funke Akindele blasts Kunle Afolayan over Nollywood remarks. Nollywood actress and producer Funke Akindele has called out filmmaker Kunle Afolayan over his comments on film promotion strategies in the country. Afolayan had claimed that some colleagues, including Akindele, promote their movies through dance-driven campaigns, which he seemed to dismiss. According to him, Akindele called him personally, seemingly upset, and asked him not to mention her name ever in interviews. Afolayan maintained that their relationship is professional and long-standing, adding that he was surprised by Akindele's reaction. The controversy has sparked reactions in the Nollywood community, with many awaiting Akindele's response. When I saw this story, the first thing that came to my mind is how rivalry and the supremacy battle, takes place in Nollywood. As one who is close to a lot of filmmakers, one of the things I can tell you that is plaguing Nollywood is the rivalry. I remember in December when Inedo had the controversy around her film name. Remember? Very dirty December. And I remember interviewing her at the time. And then she told me that, Jane, the reason why I did that was because I didn't want to be put aside, because she was competing against the top dogs that December. And then bringing this back home to what Afolayan said, for me, no matter, even if he says he was just trying to draw parallels or just give an example, no matter how little no matter how trivial it might sound, it's actually very dismissive. One thing I know is that Funke Akindele has been able to unlock some of the secrets of making a blockbuster in Nollywood. She understands her audience. Then aside from that, she understands the market. She knows how to market. She knows the kind of stories that can win. And then she has a cult following. She has a massive fan base. And all of these things work for her. So rather than, tear your colleague down, why don't you look for your own path? The sky is big enough. And I think at this point, what Nollywood actually needs is a lot of collaboration.
Tearing down is part of the looking for the market.
Oh, yes. But I think what the industry needs right now is more of collaboration and looking for ways to, What do you think, Moses? I know
rivalry will always come up. It's part of the game. You would always have somebody you're trying to be better than. Yeah. But how they go about it is my concern. I don't see any problem if somebody decides to use dance campaigns to promote a movie. I don't see the problem. You can put up billboards. You can get dancers on the street to dance and share flyers about the movie. You can share barcodes. Whatever means you choose to promote your movie is absolutely your business. I don't see why it's an issue for Afolayan, dragging Funke into all of this. Well, to be honest with you, I think all of this is part of the campaign.
Exactly the point. That's what because at least we are discussing it now. Yes. I didn't know about all of this until I got into it.
It's all part of it.
When Moses talked about rivalry, and Jane talked about rivalry, and Moses chorused it. There are three basic instincts that drive human beings in life. One is fear, the second one is competition, and the third one is glory. These are the three basic instincts that drive humanity. And it's a historical thing. Let's not get into all of that. And it's everywhere, even in our industry. It's there. But I think I will talk about Funke in a bit. Funke, started as way back when she was in high school as Jennifer. So it's a brand. I've forgotten the name of that soap. You know,
I need to know.
I need to know, you know, as Jennifer and all of that. And it
Was
was
Jennifer there?
No, she wasn't. Jennifer was.
She was just
later
in I Need to Know.
on.
Jennifer was the
Jennifer was her
character
claim
she
to fame.
created later.
later. No, but I'm talking about where she started.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
she
need
started,
to
she
know.
started with I Need to Know.
I need to know, but after some time, it now
Yes.
the turn
now
into
created
Jennifer,
and all
a brand that she's been able to, you know, build over time.
Yes.
And like Moses said, part of what they are doing is also part of the campaign. At least we are discussing it now. And I understand that she's the first artist now. She was the first to net 1 billion naira, you know, earnings with her when she premiered her this thing. I think it's I've forgotten
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes and all of that. And again, the first to hit 2 billion naira mark. I think it's an effort that she has put up. Whatever they are doing, I'm sure that they will be in their spaces now, laughing the way Nigerians are talking about it and all of that. It's all part of the promotion. I know that. And you know, Afrolan said, well, we are colleagues professionally. Relationship is professional and all of that. There will be somewhere, maybe one pub, one penthouse, you know, clinking glasses. These people are even talking about it. It's not only, they are not the only ones. When Davido and Burna Boy,
Whiskey
and all of them, you know, when they hit shoulders and they say, don't worry, we are doing it and all of that. It's part of the game.
And I think the government actually loves all of this because it's a temporary distraction. Because trust me, in the next 5 days, in the next 3 days, Nigerian
Why are you dragging government?
Why?
Please, let's drag them in.
No, why are you
Let's drag them in.
dragging?
Because I'm so angry about yesterday. I don't know if you heard the story about the girl who died, you know, by snake bites. Because
there was no anti-venom.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry because in saner clients that shouldn't happen in 2026.
So the issue of anti-venom, we should promote trado medicine.
Yes.
We may not be able to get anti-venom in our hospitals because I understand it's protein, and if it's not stored
You need steady
properly,
electricity.
which we don't have. Let's be honest. So, but then there are traditional means of getting these things out of the system. I remember a friend of mine was stung by
Scorpion.
a scorpion. You know, it's a funny story anyway. So he got stung by a scorpion, and then luckily for him, it was within a rather rural area. So he was able to get some traditional means to solving the problem, and he got the venom out of his system.
Okay.
You know.
Now, talking about, I'm happy. Talking about scorpion, you know, the impression we have that the moment you are stung by a scorpion, if care is not taken, you will die. But it's not true.
Okay.
It doesn't kill. The thing is that...
But it kills eventually.
No, it doesn't. The pain is very severe.
Okay.
The pain is very, very severe.
So it doesn't kill at all?
It doesn't kill.
But I don't want to be stung.
No,
want to be stung.
No, I don't want. I don't want. But the pain is very severe. That's the downside of it, you know.
Yeah.
But we have out there the impression that the moment you are stung by a scorpion, if care is not taken, you will die.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I think we need more awareness.
Yes,
I mean,
we do.
since the
Yes, we
government
do.
cannot help us, we should start helping ourselves. So what happens?
Yes, we should start helping ourselves.
What happens
like,
if you are bitten by a snake? What can you do? You
no,
know,
but that one kills.
snakes.
Yes,
It depends on the kind of snake.
On the kind of snake.
The kind of snake and the duration.
But
You
hers
know,
was,
if
I
you-
hear it was a cobra. Like, how did
If it's a cobra, then it's very
that's
deadly.
the king of snakes?
You know, they bite you. If you panic, the venom goes all the way to your heart. You know, it's
Immediately.
faster.
No, depending
So
on where.
you're advised to,
Okay.
depending on the parts of the body.
On the part of the body.
You're advised to calm down and all that. So
Apart
I think
from-
these are training. These are things that people need to be told over and over again. And also, like I said, the use of traditional medicine. We should encourage that and have them in every health center. Actually,
Traditional medicine in every health center in Nigeria. I think that's possible.
It's possible.
No, it's possible depending
And
on
maybe some synergy.
No, maybe it's possible according to Moses. Maybe we're looking at in 50 years' time or so. When we cannot get
You
the
sound
orthodox
like
medicine.
it's
now.
hopeless. It's not hopeless. We can.
No, Moses, what we see is hopeless.
It is
We are
hopeless.
looking for
Let's be honest.
tetanus, anti-tetanus vaccines. I know the number of people that die because of that. About 500 now. We can't find them in clinics, in government-owned clinics. So how will we be able to flood the whole health centers with anti-snake?
Nigerians should just
venom?
help themselves. That's it. That's just
Nigerians
it.
are helping themselves.
just keep
and
helping
talking
ourselves.
about the snake bite, before I forget, you know, I was told while growing up that part of the elixir is, to cut off the flow of blood. at that point. If it bites you here, you use something very strong, to stop. So
well,
that
Mr. Okoro, some doctors were online yesterday saying you don't need to tie something there on the spot, that it will even worsen the matter. So we even have conflicting reports. So who do we? I don't know.
Anyway, God will help us.
when we fail to help ourselves. That's an escapist theory.
Okay, let us escape into another topic of discussion. And President Bola Tinubu has approved the disbursement of 40 billion naira in zero-interest loans to lecturers and other workers in Nigeria's tertiary institutions. Well, the loans, ranging from 1 million naira to 10 million naira, will be repayable over 5 years, including a 1-year moratorium. The staff loan scheme aims to ease financial pressures on academic and non-academic staff, enabling them to focus on teaching, research, and community service. Well, the federal government will bear the full interest cost, and some beneficiaries have already assessed the facility. The president reaffirmed the government's commitment to keeping institutions open and avoiding disruptions in the education system. The government has launched the Energizing Education Program, providing 24-hour electricity to federal tertiary institutions. Oh, this is a good development on paper, I will say, because we have heard a lot of these things that are written on paper. Yet, if you go down to the basics, you don't find those things. I recall one time the federal government said they had disbursed a certain amount of money to ASU. And when I spoke to the current ASU president, he said no. And they said they released the money during the tenure of Osodoke. Before Osodoke left, he said, I've not seen any money. And when I spoke to the current professor now, he said, well, we have not seen any money. So we see these things happen from time to time. Government will say, we have sent out this, we have done this. We're even having problems between the governors and the federal government. At some point, the federal government will say, I've sent so amount of money, billions in palliatives, bags of trucks of rice to the governors, to the states, through the governors. And the governors will come out and say, well, we have seen only 2 out of the 5 billion. And the federal government is very emphatic, well, we have sent 5 billion and 40,000 bags of rice. So these things happen over time. It's a good thing. Like, there was a day we talked about it, The lecturers, basically, according to them, they don't need loans, they need good pay, so that they will be able to afford those things without having to go through the process of repaying loans. When I was a kid, my father always told me that he who goes a-borrowing goes a-sorrowing. And while growing up, I experienced a bit of it. So when the federal government says they want to give out monies to lecturers in terms of loans, the lecturers say, well, we don't need it. What we need is nice pay, good pay, so that we can afford those things without having to go through a process of repayment. But we also understand that some of the lecturers and even non-teaching staff have started assessing the loan facility. It's optional if you want to take, if you don't want to leave it. But at the bottom of it all is that, look, lecturers are asking for upgrades, upscale the academic environment in terms of research, in terms of infrastructure, so that our products will be able to compete internationally. Last week, the tertiary education survey, one of those agencies that raises surveys about the standard of education globally in Africa, talked about I think Nigeria we had only 1 or 2 universities in the 1 to 1,000 category.
Which university was that?
Naturally now. University of Lagos and University of Ibadan.
Naturally.
University of Lagos and University of Ibadan, But then, and we discovered that between 1,000 to 1,000, and I'm beginning to ask, I think UI made it to 800 and something. So between 1 in Africa, or is it I think it's an African thing, between 1 and 800, and we couldn't find 1 Nigerian university.
Not even the private universities.
Not even Covenant, not even Babcock, not even, we mentioned Unilag and UI, and all of that. So could make it, so it tells us how low we have gone to the lowest of our lows, in terms of the standard of education. When I was in the university, I had foreigners, people from Cameroon, people from Ghana, exchange programs that were in my university, but you don't see those things anymore. What we now see is the Nigerian parents change Naira into dollar, use it to pay school fees in Benin Republic. Just about an hour drive from here, Benin Republic.
Well, we also have
Ghana,
some Benin Republic universities that are not even recognized in Nigeria.
Yeah, people go there to
Nigerians still
go there to acquire education, certificates and all of that. So that is, like I said, the lowest of our low. But Well, lecturers is optional, and nobody forces anyone to take a loan. If you don't want to take it, please leave it.
The attitude of government towards the academia is appalling, to say the least. I mean, these are people who impact knowledge, and I think they should be encouraged to do what they do. I see what Lagos State is doing to teachers in secondary schools and the rest, letting them know that, look, your reward is not just in heaven. You can start getting reward here on earth. I have friends who have benefited from Lagos State government's largesse in sponsorship outside the country for trainings and the rest. And it's a laudable one. It's a laudable one. It has encouraged people to want to stay in the profession, knowing that, you can get the opportunity to be trained abroad. You participate in debates and all of that here in Nigeria, and you get monetary compensation. But that's just Lagos State. I think the federal that has more money, all right, that is in charge of the resources of Nigeria, can do better around the nation, especially between federal universities. They should benefit. They should have the opportunity they should have the bragging right to say, yes, I teach or I lecture in a federal institution, and these are the benefits that accrue to me. All right. And if government decides to do that, give them, opportunities to go abroad. Just take a few of them every now and then, twice every year. If you do that twice every year, a few of them abroad, maybe Finland or somewhere, get some training, come back, some monetary compensation for those that participated. Some get cars, some get money. When you do that twice a year, I'm telling you, the academic system in Nigeria will improve greatly. You will find people leaving private universities to come teach in federal and state universities. They will give their best. But when you act like they don't matter, and then we run a system whereby those that aspire to govern don't even need any certificate per se to get into that office. You start to ask yourself, you see young people asking themselves, what is the essence of getting
Politics is the only
educated?
profession that is not regulated.
In Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes, it's not regulated.
Yes.
You don't need any certificate to practice it.
To be a president, what's the least? I think your
It's school cert.
school cert to be a president.
Yeah.
So, why should I go the long haul to get a degree?
If you want to be a president.
If you want to be a president. If you are allowed to be a president.
Okay, if you're allowed to. Now, Jen, you're becoming very political. I like it.
Yes,
Before we
very.
leave this topic, I would like to say something. I'm sure that the people of Singapore will have given me citizenship because of the way I keep going to Singapore to talk about Singapore.
Lee Kuan Yew.
Yeah, one of the things that Lee Kuan Yew did was, Lee Kuan Yew said, look, you cannot develop a country if you do not develop the people that will develop the country. So he invested in education. You know what? The people that he recruited as teachers were the best hands. He will go to a school, a university, he will recruit the best, the topmost, to go and teach in secondary school and in the universities. The people that got into government. Here, people that get into government, civil service, are people who couldn't get into industry.
Yes.
Banks and all of that.
That's
Banks,
true.
oil company. But it was the reverse in Singapore. Before you get into government, you must be very, very brilliant.
But that's what it was in Nigeria at some point.
Until we changed things,
Yeah.
until things changed.
Civil service was the haven for the
It was
brains.
the heaven
That
for
was where
the
you
best.
had the very best.
That was how we had the super pem sex, who were educated at the same time with Lee in the UK.
Wow.
In the UK. But somehow we got things reversed. Yeah, I had a regional manager of mobile producing, somewhere in Port Harcourt. Regional manager. You know why he got into the industry at the time that he did? He made a third class in engineering, so couldn't get into the civil service.
He made a third class,
A third class in engineering and couldn't get into the civil
couldn't
service.
get into the civil service.
And now
You can
got
imagine.
into mobile producing.
Now the civil
So
service
by
is
the
like
time
a dumping ground.
he became regional manager, he was 100 times better than his mates that went into the civil service.
in terms of
In terms of
Welfare,
standard of living and all of that. So that's why people stop getting into civil service and now focused on industry.
But a lot of people now are going to civil service because they want to have time for business and earn
No,
more
because they
stable.
know that's where the money is. The
No, I'm even
politicians
saying-
don't steal. It is the civil servant that help them.
Okay, well, civil servants get level, so it depends on the level you're talking about. But I'm saying like
Depends
there's
on-
stability.
No, Jen, it doesn't
There's-
depend on your level. It depends on your position.
on your
You see,
position, okay?
you never see level 7 guy where they drive like 40 million naira car. You never see.
Alright.
For Abuja, go there.
But
and see
people
now.
also love the civil service because of the stability, job security. You have, I don't want to say this out, but they are very busy in those
They're
their
very what?
office. They are very busy. They work very hard. And so you you find out that most times people work in the civil service and they have businesses.
Exactly.
Civil
so
servants
they're-
will come for you for this.
That's why I said they work very hard. They're very busy.
Yeah, right. Oh, well. Now, there's another story we'll just touch on very quickly before we run to the papers and look at the headlines. The Lagos State Task Force has launched a fresh enforcement operation targeting commercial motorcycles, traffic violations, and illegal structures along the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road Corridor. Now, over 50 motorcycles were confiscated, and 10 vehicles were arrested impounded also, for traffic offences. The operation aims to restore order, improve road safety, and protect critical infrastructure along the coastal road project. You see, managing humans is just one very daunting task because humans are, so the issue of free will, has made humans very stubborn. There are places that you shouldn't ride a motorcycle ordinarily because of how, the movement of traffic in that area, it could endanger your life. But people still go ahead. I mean, the coastal highway is an express road, all right? And then you ride motorcycles, you could get involved in accidents and the rest. So I am for this
Clamp down.
clamp down. Thank you very much. And for the clamp down, it's a laudable one as far as I am concerned. The structures along the coastal highway, it will make the place look dirty and so I think we should lay down rules. If there are rules that motorcycles don't ply a certain road, expressways, and the rest of them, then it should stand. Nigerians are just such that you need to talk and talk and talk, and it feels like it's not getting into anybody's ears. People just want to do what they want to do, and that's an impression that some people come here and take away because they say, "Oh, ordinarily standing in line is a problem." You go to a regular line, maybe a bank ATM or somewhere, and somebody feels he can jump the line, and he doesn't even have to be a politically exposed person. It could just be anybody who feels, oh well, I have access, I can't wait in line, and it makes us unruly. I see these things happen, and I just shake my head in disbelief that this is where we still are, and we have young people growing up. I was in the school environment some weeks back in the Lagos State University, and I was somewhere trying to print out a few things, and students came around, and they were all over the place, and a particular girl just walked straight. In fact, she shoved everybody else aside. Walked straight, and somebody tapped her out. Why did you step on me? And she's like, if you touch me again. And then that one out of fear, leaned back. And then she talked to the person that was delivering the service. Not like she knew him before, but she had the boldness. And she got what she wanted, printed for all her friends.
Wow.
And then she walked away. And I just sat there and I was smiling. It's unfortunate. The other person had been in line. So we just like to break rules. We like to break rules.
It's in our DNA.
It is in our DNA, and it's very unfortunate. And the problem there is, I don't think the NOA is doing enough in educating Nigerians on how to be better individuals, all right? Because we've talked about changing anthem and the rest of them. But how well is it working? Is it really working? Is it working? Because if you pass the message down, regularly enough, then the younger ones will know, okay, this is how things should be done. And then we'll see correction, start emanating from the younger ones. And maybe those that are born after that will imbibe the right thing. Anyway, we're running out of time. But
I agree with you, but I always love to stand on the side of people most times because enforcement...
Even when the people do wrong.
No, not when they do wrong.
Okay.
No, it's not that bad. But I feel that enforcement hits hardest at the bottom. We've cleared these guys. Yes, Lagos is a mega city. There's a master plan. Coastal Road has to be, free of all of those inhibitions and all of that. But Where are we clearing them to? I always ask. Because you know that these bike
Leave the
men,
coastal highway. Use in our streets.
but you know that even on the major roads of the, what's it called, the Lekki Ekpe, Ozumba, they are not allowed to ply.
You don't use the expressway.
Okay, so
Because
you
they
know,
cause accidents.
you know, the other day we still talked about the Makoko. We're still recovering from Makoko demolition and all of that. So while the government is still sticking to its master plan, I think we should just be a little bit empathetic because life is hard.
Life is
Life
hard.
is
Life
hard.
has always been hard. Life will always
really
be very
hard,
hard.
you know.
Oh, well, let's quickly run to the papers now because we are almost
Have you seen
out
what
of
these
time.
people do when you allow them to ply some routes? They create a menace.
Yeah.
They create it's horrible. They cause accidents. Anyway, let's
Okay.
go to the papers very quickly. I do have the Guardian with me, so let's check out the headlines from the Guardian this morning. Nigerians turn to survival business as formal jobs dry up. There you go. And then the window headlines here. Obi faults Tinubu on multiple foreign trips, 2027 agenda. Tinubu's reforms saved 27 states from collapse, says Minister. House defends delay in passage of Electoral Act Amendment Bill. And some of the headlines here. Reactions stand by. Reactivate standby force against Sahel threats. Tinubu tells ECOWAS. Header asks U.S. to sanction Nigerians linked to security fund diversion. And then 2027. Atiku holds talks with ADP leaders amid Obi Kwankwanto alliance rumor. Terrorists raise church, police station in Niger. Osun Assembly vows to recover diverted LG funds. Anxiety as Soludo reopens Onitsha market. Investors, farmers lament as a Greek sector loses 5 trillion naira in 2 years. And the bottom strip there. Oando announces 32% production growth, 3.21 trillion naira revenue in 2025. These are the headlines.
Let's move over to the Nigerian Tribune, and the lead story there is West African leaders meet in Ghana, agree on regional security framework, say region is now a global epicenter of terrorism and violent extremism. Oil spill, Ijaw youths threaten to shut down oil facilities. Oil discovery at Eba. Ogun government reaffirms jurisdiction, cites legal historical evidence. Oyo National Park Office, police arrest 7 suspects. My team will continue where I stopped in 2027, Makinde, as Peter will be Lord's governor for uplift of states. Labour Party holds congresses in March. Osun Assembly vows to recover all diverted LG funds. Restates oversight, legislative power over local government areas. Free meters, discos defy minister's directive, focus on ban A customers. Concerns over huge crash outside banking system despite surge in digital transactions.
There you have it. And those are the headlines. We'll go deeper at 10 o'clock during newspaper review. We'll deal with those headlines proper, make sense of it all. Now let's get into the conversation. Anambra market, Onitsha main market reopens amidst IPOB seat at home call. Let's talk about this when we come back from this break. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the program. Now, let's look at what's happening in Anambra State. Now, the Anambra State government has announced the reopening of Onitsha main market on Monday, which is today, February 2, 2026, after a week-long closure due to traders' observance of a Monday sit-at-home order enforced by the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob. Governor Chukwuma Soludo declared an end to the sit-at-home order in Anambra State and assured traders and residents of adequate security. Well, the state government has also reminded civil servants and teachers of the pro rata salary system, meaning no work on Monday, no pay. Parents have been advised to ensure their children attend school on Mondays to avoid sanctions. Meanwhile, IPOB has declared a one-day sit-at-home across Southeast states on Monday. Same day, basically, today. Well, and this is in protest of the market closure. The Anambra State Police Command has increased security measures and surveillance to maintain law and order. So we do have with us Barrister Darlington Agumwa. Barrister, good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation.
Good morning, Moses, Jen, and Mr. Koro. How are we today?
Very well, thank you. We also been joined by Elder Dr. Yusuf Solomon Dambaki, who is a policy and development expert. And from Benin, Comrade Purpose Osanwanyi joins the conversation as well. Good morning, gentlemen. Now let's dive into it. Barrister, I would like to start off with you on this one. Now, this is, some have said it's inhumane. You can't compel the people. You can't say, okay, if people decide that it's not IPOB's order that they are abiding by, they just want to sit at home in solidarity of Nnamdi Kanu, and they decide to sit at home. Does the governor have the right to compel them? Now, today, the day is just starting. We will be getting reports from Anambra and the Southeast in the next few hours to see how things are turning out. If the general sit at home across Southeast states will hold, and if that holds, what does that portend for the governor's actions and the peace that we desire in the southeast.
Mr. Moses, if this thing continues, the economy of the southeast will tumble. That is the fact. That is one result that will come out of this thing. And that is why some of us are saying, no, you don't do this. You have been doing something for many years and no results. Why do you continue? More so when the man you are doing it on his behalf is telling you, don't do this again, don't try it, I don't want it. Is it by force for you to do favor to me when I'm not benefiting from
What do you
favor?
make of Ima Powerful's statement that, look, there will be a generosity at home in solidarity of the Onitsha main market closure?
No, whoever did that is an impostor, because Ipob that I know have said there should be no lockdown anywhere in the south.
First of all, Ima Powerful
Ima
made this
Powerful,
statement.
somebody are using his name. That's what I just heard. The DOS is telling you that people are using Ima Powerful. It has become...
so if people are using his name, he's still alive. Can't he come out?
That's what I'm saying. I learned he had resigned. That he has been told not to be using that name again. That's what I learned yesterday.
He has been told not to use
Yes, yesterday. Look, Mr. Moses, on what ground would anybody make such a pronouncement? Are you the government or what? Hold on. On what ground? Just tell me.
So, Barrister, let me understand. So you're saying the man himself, who is alive, was not the one that made the statement?
They said he's not the one. The DOS, Nnamdi Kanu have told you that everything...
Why can't the man himself come out and
Why
say,
will he
look, I'm
come
not
and
the one?
talk? They have told him not to. People are using that brand for
Barrister, people are using your brand, to make statements credited to you. And some people ask you not to come out and disclaim it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what I'm saying that brand is no longer look. If at all is the one that made that statement, it is wrong.
Okay, you're not sure. Okay,
No,
you're not sure.
if at all, yes, if at all. Because look at it this way. Nnamdi Kanu, who is their leader, have told you on several occasions, don't do this. So why would you not go ahead and be doing it? Does it make sense?
Barrister Darlington, I understand that at some point Nnamdi Kanu said, well, I don't need you people to sit at home every Monday. I'm coming, sir, except when I'm going to court or when it becomes necessary. And in this instance, well, the group, the leadership of IPOB feel that it is necessary. Barrister, hold on, let me...
Go ahead.
They feel that it is necessary in solidarity with the traders in Onitsha main market. So that is the situation now. Is there anything wrong in that? I'm asking you.
Please. Let us not support what is wrong.
I'm asking the question. Nobody is supporting anything.
Have you had or have you seen the government side of this whole thing? They have engaged them for 2 years, trying to make them see reason. Is that not enough? Because people are calling Solu the tyrant, this and that. But they have forgotten the effort this man has put in place. Can't you just see from the government side of it? You are impoverishing people for nothing. Mr. Okoro, on that Monday, that nobody come to market, Ipob did not gain from it. The trader did not gain from it. Nnamdi Kanu did not gain from it. The artisan did not gain from it. The government of Amidst did not gain from it. So that 8 billion naira is lost, just fizzle out like that. Who tolerate that? What exactly are you now doing? What are you pursuing? No government will tolerate that, please. Let us call a spade here. I don't like this type of behavior because you are hurting your own people. You are hurting them. Telling me, you show me the law. Yes, they have shown you the law. The law is that since 1978, the land use decree. All land belongs to the what? To the government of a state. Even the federal government cannot take any land without approaching the state.
The governor has threatened to demolish the market if push comes
yes,
to
now
shove.
so that everybody can rest and sit at home. Yes.
Okay,
yeah, because I've
actually.
What is the reason? What is the benefit?
How humane would that be?
Oh, Mr. Okoro, Mr. Moses, listen very well, though. Listen very well. I've told everybody who care to listen. Don't challenge government. No government like to be challenged, whether state or federal. I've told you. What you are doing now, what is the reason? Give us the benefit of what you are doing so that we can listen to you. You are not benefiting. Nobody is benefiting.
Mr. Gomo, you are a lawyer and you are telling people not to challenge government.
No.
So when government tramples on your right, you just keep quiet.
Not on this particular point. Not on this particular. That facility is owned by the government. The government established that market for the good of all. Then a few people cannot.
Looks like you are getting emotional over this.
Not emotional.
I would like for you to look at the sides, different sides to it. Now, there are questions people are asking. The issues, that led to the sit at home. In fact, there are so many talking points in all of this. Number one, people are saying, does it look like Chukwuma Soludo is the one who escalated the sit at home issue in Anambra? Because when he came into government, the moment he won the elections, without even, assuming office, he started talking to us about sit at home and all of that. And he didn't learn the models from places like Enugu, Abia, and Ebonyi, where there were no. Barrister, I'm asking a question. Some people have said he looks like he's the one that is the problem. No. And shortly after he wins his second term, he is still talking tough on the sit at home issue. People also believe that the issue of sit at home, the factors that led to it, is not accidental. It's the fundamental to the survival of a group of people. And so that it should be handled with kid gloves. Now, the third question people are asking, in all that happened before the sit at home, that the Southeast states were earning 8 billion naira every month. They are every month.
Anambra.
In Anambra. People are asking, the governors and the people, what did they do with the 8 billion naira that we're getting every month? And they're asking what has changed between then and now.
The money is not for the government, for God's sake, now. It is the money they generate in that market that is lost.
To who?
To nobody. That's what I'm telling you. I really have my own synopsis about it. That on that day, that money is just wasted.
People are saying, allow us to waste this money.
No, please don't go there. Please don't go there. Listen very well. The government said that they have engaged them for 2 good years. Let somebody come and debunk it. The government said that we have provided security to 150 vigilante people well armed, and it's even the market that are paying those people. The garrison. Sorry?
Could it be that the people don't have enough trust in the government to secure their lives?
Mr. Moses, no. The thing is that some people want to cash out with Nnamdi Kalu's name. And nobody should tolerate it.
Who are these people?
Yes, most of the members in that market are IPOB members. And they are doing it for selfish reason. Not that Nnamdi Kalu authorized it.
Can you throw light on the possible selfish reason they might be doing?
Good. They want to force the government to buy into their own idea. That what they want, they want that market to be closed on Monday. For their own selfish interests, which nobody can now adduce. Nobody can say what they are pursuing, because I told you here, that day that they don't come to market, over 8 billion is lost. Nobody gained. Ipob did not gain because they didn't trade. Market trader did not gain. The government did not gain. Nnamdi Kalu did not gain. The artisans who make a living on daily basis for coming to that, they did not gain. So why would you lose such an amount of money on the daily market like that?
This thing has gone on for so long. What do you think? What is the long-term implication? I mean, it has lingered for so long.
Yes.
What's the long-term implication? And what do you think might be the way out at this point?
If evil is allowed to fester in a particular environment for too long, it becomes a tradition and culture. And I like it when the government has come to stop it. Because that is not the culture of the Igbo man. We always use ourselves when we are doing something. This money that is being lost, they calculated is over 3 trillion naira. Just nowhere, nobody is with it. It did not enter anybody's pocket. So why would they be wasting that kind of money in the southeast? I mean, in Anambra. The garrison, military garrison, 5 minutes away to the market. So if there's any insecurity, they can always be deployed to take care of anything. So all the reasons that Ipob or whoever is giving, it doesn't add up. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't add up at all. So when they are saying, show me the law, show me the... Yes, the law is that the government established that place. The worst you can do is go and collect all your goods in your shop and leave the market. Then the governor can come and lock up his shop. Advertise for other people who can come and use it. That's just the end of the story. You cannot dictate for the government in a facility they established. For what? What you are pursuing, Nnamdi Kanu has been there even before the trial and the sentencing. And they have allowed this thing, thinking that it will yield result. But up to today, it didn't yield any result. And we are now trying to interface with the federal government so that they can now mellow down and release Nnamdi Kanu. Please tell me, this belligerent attitude, is that what you are going to use to face the federal government?
Barrister,
and ask for favor.
Barrister, I was going to ask you what the underlying demands. I mean, what is it really that Ipob is, asking for? What is it that is driving this sit at home? But you said something earlier that nobody can even deduce. If we can't deduce what Ipob really is fighting for, or the reason why they are enforcing the so-called sit at home, then doesn't it almost sound like a lost cause? So how can this be? What's the way out?
When it was going on initially, it was for Nnamdi Kanu.
Release.
Good. Now, he has been sentenced and is in Sokoto Correctional Center. Please, let me tell you, is it not time for you to now change your tactics? Since the other one did not
would it
work?
make a difference if Nnamdi Kanu speaks from detention, either gets a lawyer, because I understand that his lawyer, the lawyer that was with him just left. But what if he speaks from detention and said, look, whatever, stay or don't stay? Will that make a difference?
He has already spoken. They just don't want to listen. That's why I tell you that this now has become selfish interest or economic, economic sabotage.
If he's if he's the leader of IPOB and he speaks and they don't listen, you think the leadership of IPOB has slipped through his hands? Yes,
that is what is going on now. Yes, they want to rubbish the cause. Mr. Moses, they want to rubbish this cause now because every non-state actor is now trying to. In fact, what do they call it? That the Jahu or whatever, that other young man, he came out and spoke that there will be total lockdown. That if the government dare him, why would you be talking like
Could
this?
there be other actors that are probably not even in the southeast that may be involved in this?
It is possible. That is why the governor must put his foot down, because I can see it now as economic sabotage for Anambra. I can see politics seeping into it. Any responsible government will not allow that. They have tried severally with meetings. Then they come and deny that the government did not call them for a meeting. Then they come and deny it for 2 years, Mr. Moses. You are telling them they have provided everything you need. So who is causing the insecurity now? Is it people from Kano or where? If you are the one causing the insecurity, you are the one. You are the one. And so stop blaming the government. You are the one. No foreigner came to Anambra to cause insecurity. You are the one.
But sir, when you say you are the one, are you talking about IPOB?
Whoever, the person that has said that there should be lockdown, he's the person. Because ordinarily, on what ground will you be saying that? Since there is no need for it, since there is no benefit for it.
Do you think that person could be an agent of someone?
Whoever, I'm telling you that whoever is behind this thing, he doesn't want the progress of Anambra and the Southeast, and no government should allow it. Because it's hurting us. It's hurting us. Tell me who is being hurt here now, apart from the people of Igbo land. Is that what you want to support? You are hurting your own people and you are claiming that you are fighting a cause. On what ground? Does it add up? When you are doing something, you think now, this thing I'm doing, how will it benefit us? Mr. Okoro, that was how some people gathered in the 14th century, 15th century, and said that twins should be killed in Igbo land. That human beings are not supposed to born twins. It is only dog. It took a woman from Irish Republic to come and stop it. Since that time till now, is there any place they get back to a twins and problem started from there? But this was also people made Igbo people to imbibe in their head. And we lost hundreds of thousands of our people, our own children. This is how problems start. That is exactly what I'm talking about. People will sit down here and cook up something and say we should buy into it. Buy into what? Okay. We lost hundreds of thousands of people because of that policy. And nobody told us the meaning. Up to today, nobody.
Okay, Barrister. Now, what is available? What measures are available to government if the general seat at home holds today? I mean, the day is just starting. It's just a few minutes to 9 o'clock.
They will come back. Mr. Moses, Those people,
Yes,
when
thank
they
you very
get
much.
tired,
I would rather you call me Moses than Mr. Moses.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Look, it's true. In the media, no mister, no title.
Exactly.
I understand that. These of you who call me barrister here, it's causing problem.
Barrister, go ahead.
It's because you call me Mr.
So please, in the media, there's no title. Even Dr. Ruben Abati, he doesn't answer. So please, we should observe some of these things. And I don't want to go into that.
Barrister.
Now, listen very well. You see what you are telling me now. I understand where you are coming from. But let me ask you, if they continue to sit at home, will it not hurt them economically? At a point, they will say, this thing is not working now. What are we staying at home for? They will budge. Government cannot be bothered. They get allocation from Abuja. It's you who is losing. So they must come back to that market. In fact, they will beg the governor to come and open that market.
Barrister, let's not ignore the pro rata salary that
that's
he has
how
talked
to
about
for
civil servants and teachers. Do you think that would?
It's working already. You don't want to lose your job now. That's the truth. That's how to enforce discipline. I have told you here the resultant effect of this kind of behavior by non-state actors trying to dictate for the government. Do you know what will happen? Because from this now, they will now go to another angle because they have succeeded in this one. They will now look for another angle. On what ground are you doing this? So that's my question. Are you a state actor? Now the Kanu said anything that is not from DOS, we should ignore it. That is the latest now because you are asking me whether he has spoken. So people are so if you want to commit mischief now in the south, you using now the Kanu's name, Abi. Hold on. If you want to commit mischief, or crime, you now say Nnamdi Kanu, you are doing it because of you. You are doing, what kind of thing is that?
Barrister, is it right to say that at this point it seems like the movement has grown bigger than the owner, and he's unable to, call them to order?
That is exactly where I'm going. We must structure this in. People that are reasonable should be fronting for Nnamdi Kanu. Not all these people that don't even know what is happening.
But he has said people should stop talking on his behalf.
No, not everybody. They say DOS.
DOS.
Yes, DOS, Directorate of States. They are the one that authorize, And if, even at that, it is the elderly people in Igbo land, the real reasonable people that will interface with the government concerning Nnamdi Kanu. Not these people. They can't even go close to Abuja now. Who are they? You are looking for a favor from somebody. Can't you take it easy? Humility. Because other people that went through the same process, Moses, look at Al-Mustafa. Look at Bawa, former EFCC chairman. Look at Sambo Dasuki. Before they were let off the hook, was there any hoopla? Please, did you close any market in their villages or in their towns? Somebody should come and prove me wrong. Because I deal on facts. If you don't have facts, then close your mouth. Do you know what is worrying me here now? The people that are engineering this in the South, they are all outside the Southeast. Some of them will come now and support this, but you are open your market outside Igbo land. Can you just imagine? Outside Igbo land, your market is working. You opened it. You are gone there to make a daily income. But in Igbo land, close it. Don't you see hypocrisy here? Let them tell me that every other market where the Igbos are in the majority, they all close down on Mondays. The people of Anambra does not like Nnamdi Kanu. It is only these food people in on the Tabe market. Every other person that went to their businesses today, they don't like Nnamdi Kanu. Is that what you're saying?
Well, thank you very much, Barrister Darlington Agumo. We wait for incoming reports on what is the situation in Anambra State this morning. Thank you for coming on the program. Well, that's it on the show. I beg your pardon. Let's quickly run to another conversation now. The tax laws. Let's talk about the tax laws and the controversies surrounding the tax laws. Stay with us.
Again, the tax.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Voice of the people, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka. I'm Anambra, the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
2564 is coming up on running 9 right. 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world.
Welcome back, and you're still watching VOP this morning. ADC defection talk stalls as Kwankwaso waits on Obi's fate. The planned defection of Rabiu Kwankwaso, the national leader of the NNPP, to the ADC has been put on hold due to uncertainty over Peter Obi's presidential ticket. According to sources close to the matter, Kwankwaso's political defection is tied to a proposed Obi-Kwankwaso joint ticket under the ADC, reportedly initiated by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The two parties have been engaged in intense negotiations with a three-man committee set up by the ADC to finalize Kwankwaso's defection. Kwankwaso's camp has reportedly expressed concerns about Obi's chance of securing the ADC presidential ticket, citing the possibility that he might be edged out in favor of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Sources close to Kwankwaso's camp also revealed that some northern leaders and Obasanjo had advised the former Kano governor against rushing into the ADC without firm guarantees. The proposed alliance between Obi and Kwankwaso is seen as a strategic move to strengthen the ADC's chances in the 2027 presidential election. However, the uncertainty surrounding Obi's presidential ticket has put the brakes on Kwankwaso's planned defection. To make sense of all of this, let's invite Comrade Eragbe. Comrade Eragbe, are you there? Comrade Eragbe? Comrade Eragbe, are you there? Okay, let's move over. Elder Dambaki, are you there to make sense for us? Okay, Comrade Popples, are you there? Let's have your take on this. Okay, let's go on a short break and we'll be right back.
name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV.
Welcome back. Comrade Ragbe, are you then to take on this topic? What do you think are the possible implications of this move?
Good morning, fellow Nigerians.
Good morning.
Comrade Ragbe Anselm here.
Good morning. What's your position on this matter? And do you think that President Obasanjo's interference in this issue would help the ADC's chances at all?
Okay, well, thank you, our fellow Nigerians. Comrade Ragbe Anselm, the National Youth Leader of Labour Party. It's a known fact that His Excellency, the former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, knows virtually the intrigues in the Nigeria political space, and like himself said recently, or like he has maintained, he needs to see Nigeria work even before he passes on. So I think this has formed part of his own devotion. If you look at what happened in 2023, His Excellency aligned with Mr. Peter Obi, that's President Olusegun Obasanjo. He aligned with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi for a lot of reasons. One, he believed that the Southeast had not produced a democratically elected president of Nigeria. That was one consideration. Two, the other consideration was in the personality of Mr. Peter Obi and his character. He also felt that Mr. Peter Obi possessed those qualities that were expected or desired of he would be Nigeria president, particularly in this new dispensation. So that was one. Also, don't forget, in 2022, the Labour Party's desire was to have an alliance with Kwankwaso, Dr. Kwankwaso. We did all we could in that dispensation to see if we could marry Mr. Peter Obi and Dr. Kwankwaso together in a joint ticket, where Peter Obi will serve as the presidential candidate and Kwankwaso as the vice presidential candidate, so that he could also bring his great wealth of experience and contact. Don't forget, Kwankwaso has a large followership in northern Nigeria, particularly Kano. Ideally, if you had added the vote Kwankwaso scored in 2023 with Mr. Peter Obi, you agree with me to a very large extent, the presidency would not have eluded us.
Do you think Kwankwaso still has that much impact in Kano State, seeing that even the governor has moved to the APC, and some commissioners very recently have also moved to the APC, and the governor, we know, basically he's in charge of the structure right now. So do you think, if you're looking at what the impact Kwankwaso had in the NNPP in 2023, where he got about 1 million votes, and you are joining that to what Mr. Gregory Peter Obi got in 2023, which was about 6.1 million votes, you want to merge that? Do you think they still have that number of votes in their kitty as we approach 2027?
We are having that. I begin to speak from the one I heard.
Okay.
Now, don't forget, stable politician in Nigeria in terms of the amount of vote he brings to the table each time. Now, if you look at his pedigree and his history, in line with the vote he has been bringing in, the Kwankwasia movement has become a phenomenon to a very large extent, particularly in northern Nigeria. And that's a given. Now, the 2023 elections, remember, some factors also played in. For instance, if Kwankwaso were the vice presidential candidate to Peter Obi in that election, now, it would have brought in more votes across the north, particularly the northwest. Not minding that the pivot of his vote centers around Kano, but of course, for many factors: one, the religious factor; two, the ethnic factor; three, his own political strength. Particularly, imagine a situation where he got about 1.9 million or thereabout votes from just one state, ideally. So majorly from one state, then a little spread across. So if it were for the presidential ticket, it would have been more impactful. So for me, I think what His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo is doing is in the right direction, to the extent that he's looking at how best, if you look at the political configuration and the history of occupation, the Southwest are done under his own administration, 8 years under a democracy.
All right.
Today, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, let's say he's doing 4 years.
Comrade Anslem.
Should he do another 4 years? That would be 16. So, yes.
I hope you can hear me, because I understand that you are in transit and we're getting a lot of distortion in the audio as you move around. But it's really an honor to have you on this show. But I hope you can hear me. Now, as we walk towards 2027, what are the plans of the Labour Party really? You are an insider. You think Labour Party will be aligning with any other party?
Okay, thank you, fellow Nigerians. Yeah, the Labour Party just rose from an emergency National Executive Council meeting that embodied the stakeholders of the party, that's the NLC and the TUC, only the day before yesterday, Saturday, 31st January 2026. Now, in that meeting, it was very obvious and clear. First and foremost, the Labour Party is not going to any alliance with any other political party, because we already have a very formidable coalition, a coalition of the Nigerian workers, headed by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress and their trade unions. So we believe, to a very large extent as it were, that the composition of the Labour Party as it stands today, or as it has been a very formidable coalition. But we are going to see in the days ahead a situation where other parties are willingly going to come into a coalition with the Labour Party, because if you look at it, even from the last elections, like we maintained that even the presidential election, we won it. But let's leave that for now. That we say because the Nigerian workers, they came out in their full regalia and strength.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The Labour Party did not have as much impact before Peter Obi got into it in the days to 2023 election. So if you're talking about the Labour force as being the currency of the Labour Party, where were they in 2019? Where were they in 2015? Don't you think at this point the Labour Party should be thinking about aligning with another party if it intends to have ample numbers in the governance of things?
Now, okay, thank you, fellow Nigerians. If you know me, I'm one person who has always acknowledged the foray of Mr. Peter Obi to the Labour Party. I've always done that, and I'll keep doing that. But again, don't forget that if you have followed recently some of my interviews, I said the Labour movement, we had actually started building what you saw in 2023 since 2016. Because like we said, the Labour Party is the only institutional political party in Nigeria where you have membership across the wards, because the NSC structure, the TC structure, they cut across your ward. You have a teacher, you have a nurse, you have artisans. All of these persons form the foundation membership of the Labour Party in Nigeria. So we actually had reactivated this structure since 2016, very gradually and coming up, until also Peter Obi joined us, and the Obedient Movement also followership joined us. And that brought that struggle we have embarked on since 2016 to a head. So, but the point I'm also making now is, notwithstanding that Mr. Peter Obi has left us, That has not changed anything concerning the structure of the Labour Party. You are going to see in the days ahead where other political parties, don't be surprised that even the ADC will end up collapsing their structure into the Labour Party as we build up effectively to 2027. Why did I say so? This is a party that got over 6 million votes in the 2023 elections. The ADC, notwithstanding that it had been existent, it's relatively obscured. It's even only recently that Mr. Peter Obi also joined them, that even the wave is getting stronger. But don't forget that that wave you are looking for is still resident in the Labour Party. And I can tell you for free in the days ahead, probably after our convention in April 25th, and as build up to 2027, you will truly know that the party to beat in Nigeria, Labour Party for 2027.
Comrade, you preempted my question. I was going to ask you if the LP is considering forming an alliance with the ADC. But away from that, it seems as though Nigerian opposition politics is, they pretty much wait for who is leading before really stating what they stand for. All the time, this is history repeating itself over and over again. All the time, they first of all wait for, let's see who is leading first. And then once that is established, they now tell us what they stand for. And I see this play out too with the LP. Comrade, did you get my question?
Which the ones I've had. Now, let me tell us something, that this coalition that is most talked about today was also initiated by the Nigerian Labour Movement in March 2025, when they came out from their national action meeting and their next meeting in Adamawa State, sometimes early March 2025. You remember that we began this whole idea of a coalition where the NSC and the TC gave the party a marching order to put itself in order and begin to go into discussions, coalition and alliance discussions with other political parties. So, but because of the lingering crisis, as at that time, that the party had with Julius Aburi, remember, so that was why even the ADC came sometimes in May, 2 months after we initiated the idea of a coalition, and to run with our vision. But now we're standing as opposition parties. What I believe is in the days ahead, the Labour Party will still be that coalition vehicle. When these chips are down, that will be deployed for 2027 presidential election, particularly.
Okay, good. Comrade, let me stay with you. I would like for us to return to the question of Obasanjo's capacity to effect an upset in 2027 before we now talk about the possible outcomes of the 2027 or 2026 ADC primaries, talking about the ticket, who the ticket goes to. This is not the first time that the former President Obasanjo is trying. He tried in 2022. He took Obi around, and introduced him to both the Southwest and in the Middle Belt and in the North and all of that. At that point, he was rooting for Obi. Recall that then the current president was not an insider. He was also, pushing his own side of the game from outside, though a member of the APC. If Tinubu was able to overcome Obasanjo in 2022 from the outside, from the fringes, what are the possibilities that Obasanjo's mobilization efforts will yield any fruit in 2027? Now that the former national leader of the APC, who was then an outsider but is in government now, what are the possibilities that Obasanjo could outsmart him this time? Is it something that you see happening? What are the parameters? What do you think will happen?
You pardon me, like I said, because of the network that is switching, I'm actually on transit. Now, again, if I heard you correctly, President Obasanjo's efforts towards mobilizing support for Mr. Peter Obi presidential aspiration. Well, like I said earlier, remember President Olusegun Obasanjo is one man who has virtually seen it all.
I'm sorry, comrade. Maybe you didn't get a part of the question that is very, very critical. The part is that Obasanjo tried in 2023. He failed. So what guarantee do you have that he might just succeed in 2027? What do you see that could make a difference?
Right now, quickly, You know, the issue of political mobilization is not a one-man show. Normally, the import and strength of it has to do with alliance building, cooperation and collaboration. But you also understand that the man we have to deal with here also, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, politically is one of the most formidable politicians in Nigeria. When you talk of grassroots mobilization, when you talk of contact, when you talk of strategy, when you talk of the years of experience he has pursued his mission to becoming the president, you can't but also give it to him. And that was why even the way he emerged as president in 2023, I warned even Labour Party, I warned Abure ahead. I said, the man you have to deal with is not the ordinary kind of politician. And I gave him a lot of strategy, but unfortunately, nobody understood what I was saying as at that time. So come back to and to continue to mobilize for what he believes in. But also, if we want to be patriotic, between now and 2027, the APC may also have to prove themselves right to say they are worthy of maybe a second tenure by their own performance. But that said, President Olusegun Obasanjo has his own conviction to bring in Peter Obi as the next president of Nigeria. But the way he can do that is to first aggressively see how much of the Nigerian youth will also believe in what he believes in, how much of the political divide across in terms of the entire country can also toe the same line he believes in. And all of this I'm talking about have to do with mobilization, galvanizing the people to believe in the cause he also believes in, and to see that when they vote, in 2027, those votes should count. Because in all of this, if the votes don't count, however you mobilize, you may not be able to achieve it. Yes,
Anselm, my direct question is this. Do you think Obasanjo can create an upset in 2027? Very direct question.
Yeah, like I said, it's not impossible. A man who has served Nigeria as a military head of state, a man who has served Nigeria as a two-time democratically elected president, a man who has served the military formation at all levels. I mean, he has the highest contact and leadership traits that people can listen to. But of course, he's old now, notwithstanding. But all those working with him also have to be up and doing.
All right.
He has that capacity, but a lot has to be done. Like I said, don't underestimate the sitting president. I want everybody, each time I talk about President Tinubu, to say, President Tinubu is too strategic. He goes all out for what he believes in, and he knows how to get what he wants.
All right.
For you to remove him, you have to go 2 steps ahead of him.
Okay, good. Now, let's talk about what may be the possible outcomes of the primaries in ADC. Do you see, a lot of people felt that, well, before Peter Obi got into ADC formally, that there must have been some kind of insider arrangement between him and Atiku, that he didn't just jump into the ADC without assurances, like a lot of people have said. But we hear differently now. Atiku said, well, everybody is going into the race and all of that. So what do you think might happen if both of them go to the primaries? A lot of people have also said, well, Atiku is very skilled, is adept at winning primary elections. And Peter Obi has just done only one primaries, and that is the Labour Party presidential primary. And people are asking, is it possible? Now, let me ask you directly, do you think that Peter Obi could, by any means defeat Atiku Abubakar if they get into primaries without any form of consensus? Oh, okay, you are stepping down for me, I'm going to step down for you. You are going to deputize for me, I'm going to deputize for you. What are the potential, of Obi? What is the potential of Obi getting into the primaries and just clinching it? Is it possible?
Let me say this quickly. We have different pedigrees. If you look at His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, that is a man you can always give. You can give that to him when it comes to winning primaries, presidential primary elections. You can give that to him. So I really do not see how possible, personally, it is for His Excellency Peter Obi to defeat His Excellency Atiku Abubakar in an open primary. I'll add a few points to this. One, don't forget, in Nigeria, a lot of financial mobilization go into political party presidential primaries. And His Excellency Atiku is very skilled and that. So you can give that to him. But for His Excellency Peter Obi to have also gone to ADC, I want to believe he probably must have reached a certain measure of understanding with Atiku and some of the power brokers in ADC. But if you look at all of this struggle, some of us have insisted, even before ADC coalition also started, to say the presidency of Nigeria ideally should remain in southern Nigeria for the next 4 years, so that the South ordinarily will have completed its own tenure for 8 years. So, but if you go by that argument, you find out that Atiku Abubakar has also assured Peter Obi to say, probably I will support you to win these primaries. Maybe they have other political consideration. It may be, I don't know, it may be His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has other plans. Maybe to become the face of the ADC by providing leadership for Peter Obi to emerge in the final analysis, then probably to give Peter Obi another vice presidential. This is one line of thinking. But if you look at it from what Atiku has said, come to the primaries, let us test ourselves. Whoever wins in an open primaries becomes the presidential candidate, and I will give such a person my support if I don't win.
Okay.
So this is another line of argument.
All right.
But the third line of argument might be a situation where Peter Obi himself might want to become vice president to Atiku. That's the third line of argument. So in all of this, as the game unfolds, it will become clearer what it is in ADC.
All right. Comrade Anselm, before we leave this discussion, this conversation, I'd like for you to talk a bit about Labour Party. What is the state of things, you know? What are the state of things in the Labour Party, talking about Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee, which has been recognized as the authentic leadership of the Labour Party, and the Julius Abure faction that are still saying, well, that faction is still saying, we are the people in charge. We are going to call to challenge all of that. Bring up to the minute about what is happening in the Labour Party, briefly.
Thank you. First and foremost, let me commend the judiciary, commend the Supreme Court judgment of 4th April 2025 that awarded all three issues in dispute to Senator Nenadi Usman and Dali Tuwokote as the appellants, chairman and secretary of the party. Then two, let me quickly also, for the world is aware now, commend Federal High Court 9, presided over by Justice Peter Lifu, JP, who interpreted the Supreme Court judgment and issued a consequential order to INEC to recognize and implement the Supreme Court judgment. So INEC, also I wish to quickly commend them for immediately within 4 days adhering to the order of court to have uploaded Senator Nenadi and all of our names on the INEC portal. So now the Labour Party has no faction, the world needs to know. And this is the point where Abure cannot go further. One, Abure cannot appeal the Supreme Court judgment because Abure itself does not have locus. And this same Supreme Court dismissed the FCTI court and the appeal court that recognized him earlier as chairman. So Abure has no locus. This matter cannot be appealed. So Abure needs to humble himself at this point. He cannot go beyond what he has done. So for Nenadi, he's the legitimate chairman of the Labour Party. That is clear before the world now. We just came out from a National Executive Council meeting only on Saturday night, 2 days ago. And the direction of activities are now clear. We are commencing congresses with the World Congresses on the 14th of March, 2026, to follow with the local government congresses, the state congresses, the zonal congress and delegates election, to culminate into the all-inclusive, expansive and national convention of on the 25th of April 2025. So immediately we come out from the national, these processes, now the foundation will have been laid for the substantive executive of the party. Of course, Nenadi is going to lead us to that transition. But of course, in the days ahead, we will know also if you desire to contest for that office and other persons. But of course, whoever wishes to contest and to emerge, that will be done and achieved during these processes. But immediately we come out from that process, we'll now bring to the front burner 2027 political activities across the nation, the governorship, the House of Rep, the Senate, the presidential, where people will now come and declare their aspirations. Then we'll begin to work towards them.
All right then. Well, thank you very much, Comrade Anselm Eragbe. Thank you for your contribution, and we appreciate the fact that you obliged us, even though it was at short notice. Oh well, let's get into another conversation now. Tax laws controversy. Let's talk about this when we come back from this break. Stay with us.
extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. It's awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People.
Well, thank you very much for the House of Representatives. Representative Philip Agbese has dismissed claims by Senator Aline Dume that the tax laws recently passed by the National Assembly were falsified. Agbese described the allegation as unfounded and misleading. And Dume had claimed that there were discrepancies in the gazetted tax laws, but Agbese reaffirmed that due legislative processes were followed. Meanwhile, stakeholders in Nigeria's oil and gas industry believe that recent fiscal reforms, particularly the Nigeria Tax Act 2025, hold significant potential to unlock value across the country's energy value chain, if effectively implemented. The 2026 Oil and Gas Symposium highlighted the need for innovation-driven and diversified energy ecosystem anchored on sound fiscal policies, gas development, and value chain deficiency. Well, we do have joining us Professor Emmanuel Usue. Good morning to you, Professor. Good morning to you. Good to have you join the conversation. Well, I understand that you've been following events in the polity in the past few days with the tax laws that came out. The one of the lawmakers, I'm trying to remember his name now, pointed out the fact that there were discrepancies in there, and then we got the National Assembly said, okay, let's bring out another law. Well, all of it, all of the things, the controversy going on around the tax laws, the policies, and the gazetted copies, the fact that lawmakers at some point were told that they would not have access to the gazetted copies and the rest. What do you make of all of that? And does it seem like this is in the interest of the people from your point of view? Do you have
Thank
that,
you very
that feeling?
much.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very, very much. Some of these things that you are seeing happening concerning the tax law is one of the evidence that our leadership is not sincere with the masses. Our leadership lives in a constant denial when issues are raised, when concerns are raised by the masses concerning important aspect of the Nigerian system. For instance, the tax system affects everybody. And it is important that if we have raised some issues, such issues should be addressed properly in a public domain by relevant persons in government to give us a sense of understanding of what are the issues, what are the concerns, and what are the possible solutions
Well, I can tell you that some of
to
the
address
things
such
raised,
concerns,
some of the
because
things,
in the end, it is going to affect you and me. Yes.
some of the things raised were the fact that some laws were slipped into it. There were additions in the gazetted copy of the tax laws, and we haven't seen an outright dismissal or an outright denial of that, because government is saying one thing and then we're hearing another thing. And in fact, in Lagos State, there's been another revelation that the tax laws in Lagos State gives the relevant authority access to people's accounts. So my question is, with all the charade, as it were, surrounding the tax laws, do you as an individual get the impression that this is in the interest of the people?
No. No, it is not in the interest of the people. If it is going to be in the interest of the people, bring out the complete, comprehensive document that has been gazetted to the public domain, and also let the National Assembly that passed the bill into law affirm unanimously that this is the document that was passed into law. Let the National Assembly come forth to affirm the integrity of the gazetted document, and let the document be in the public domain, so that if a common person who has interest in reading the law will be able to read it and understand it and know what to do and what not to do. But when these things are shredded in secrecy, can I say secrecy, and nobody is standing out to say precisely what it is, it leaves the ordinary masses in jeopardy, and can I say in a mess, because they now do not know what to do and what not to do. It creates a lot of confusion and the impression that something is hidden somewhere and it is not good for the masses. That's the impression this is creating for the ordinary masses.
All right then. Now, what would your advice be going forward? Going forward, just take a few minutes. Advise both Nigerians and the government as we wrap up this conversation.
Let the National Assembly leadership step forward, publish its law that was passed, the bill that was passed into law, publish that version, and also let the government that signs the bill into law and gazetted it, publish its gazetted version, so that we will compare the two versions and see what it is, whether it tallies with the other, or there are some discrepancies, or there are some additions or subtractions. We can make, the public cannot make the decision or determine what it is, whether it is genuine or not genuine, whether additions or subtractions have been done in the documents.
All right then.
But now, if that is not done, we are still left at the mercy of chance, because whatever at some point they tell us to do, we will have no choice than to do it. But now we cannot count on which document is genuine and which one is not.
All right, thank you very much, Professor Emmanuel Usue. Thank you for your contribution on the program.
You are welcome.
In the coming days, we will have tax professionals here to expatiate on this and get us into understanding the intricacies much better. Well, thank you very much. Now let's, well, that's it on the show today. Newspaper Review comes up next. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I am Chukuma Okoro.
And I'm Jane Ogoye. Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow, bright and early.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world